Welcome to Broadcast, and I am sitting with Mr. Jayson-lee Collins today. And how are you?
Yeah, very well, and yourself?
I'm alright, thank you. Property development.
Yes.
What is property development?
Look, it's anything to do with the development of infrastructure, housing, buildings, anything that services the area or community.
Okay, so observing on the world had nothing like back in the day. There was nothing, there were no buildings, no constructions. So there was property development on top of, the whole globe. So what do you think of the property development from before that was implemented by people from back then?
In comparison to now?
Yeah, in comparison to now.
So look, technology's changed. I think the development from where we are now compared to where we were has changed in terms of green and sustainable buildings. I think a lot of land has been developed. I think a lot of people, there's always land that needs to be developed. There's always people that need places to live. I think people are going higher as to opposed back in the day they were kind of sparsed out. But I think now skyscrapers, you're seeing buildings being higher. Leonardo's a perfect example of that. I see a lot more sustainability, with all the power issues, things like that in South Africa. You're seeing kind of reflective glass being used. You're seeing double density glass being used. So I just see a change in technology, really. That's the difference in it.
So you're saying change in technology. So does that give space for properties that have been developed back in the day to have a new development today?
Yeah, of course, definitely. So all the buildings that can be redeveloped, I think they are being redeveloped. I think now more so than ever, especially in the office space, I think it's cheaper now to buy a building as opposed to build it from scratch. I think you can buy a property cheaper than you can develop it because your building costs are more expensive than what you can buy. So yeah, definitely outdated buildings are being bought, being redeveloped, and we're seeing that quite a bit.
But regardless of the cost of how much it takes to build a building, do you think it's better starting a building from scratch or a new development from scratch, or developing the old property that has been developed?
It's a hard question. It all depends on your plan. So if you have an idea, if you have a plan for the building, I think it also depends on your location. So if you have a plan at a specific location and you can find a building that's already developed that you have to redevelop, then it's probably better to redevelop. But if, for example, like this property we have on auction where it's a piece of land and you have a rezoning process and there's a need in the area where it's just a piece of land, then maybe development from the ground up is a better option. Okay, so
you have a property for us. You found a property that can have a new development. I think it is a best option right now from how I look at things, because you are able to design according to how things are, according to the improvement of technology. Would you tell us about this property that you have with you?
So we got a very, very nice development opportunity here in Kukrus. So actually in the south in Meyerton, between Vanderbijl Park and Klipperveer. Right? So what it is it's 472 FLISP unit housing. So basically round about the affordable housing area. It's a community development. So basically it's zoned in 3 portions. It's got the residential 3 zoning for the 472 units. It's got a zoning for business portion, so you can develop a 4,900 square shopping center on it. And then it's also got a zoning for high-tech library. So it's going to service that entire area, that whole Meyerton area.
So it's basically everything in it. So looking at this, a new property development and its opportunity, do you think it has an automatic plug-in into future improvements? Just like how, I'll show you an example. You look at the Johannesburg CBD and you look at a Sandton. Sandton is like more of a new development more than the Johannesburg CBD. So when you look at the Johannesburg CBD, people are not investing in that area. People are abandoning buildings. We have buildings that are being hijacked by, the external factor because politics. Do you think the new developments that are being brought upon, like this precious property that you have, precious new development that you have for us here, do you think it closes the gap to having such problems that we have in the Johannesburg CBD?
Look, I think what this property does do is it helps the congestion of Johannesburg CBD. So as you know, in Johannesburg, we have a big issue with the population. So people are living on top of each other.
Yeah.
We need a spatial dispersion. We need a dispersion of people. And this accommodates that. So the people in the Johannesburg CBD can actually find relief out into these areas, into the south. And this is exactly what it's accommodating. So there's a lot of area, a lot of land in these areas. You're seeing a lot of townhouses being developed. And that's exactly who this is catering for. The lower affordability, the lower LSM, who can purely move out of the Johannesburg CBDs into these areas, close to major arterials, easy for distribution, easy for traveling. And that's who it accommodates to.
That's good. Obviously, we're auctioning this on the 27th of October, 2022.
Correct.
Who are you expecting to look at this kind of new development?
Any developer. That's it. Any developer.
Because there's business, there's
any developer. I mean, there's such opportunity here. You got your residential development, you've got your business development, you got developers from Johannesburg who can look at this, you got developers from Cape Town, you got the guys in affordable housing who can look at this. Literally any developer. It's the zonings are in place. All that's left is your bulk contributions that have to be paid, and then you get down and you develop. So literally any developer. A new developer starting to learn a project, starting to grow. It's very good for the new developers, or an experienced developer looking to just grow their portfolio. Accommodates a lot of the developers.
Yeah, that's good. But do you think there's a specific someone who has experience in having residential and commercial properties under their company? Who exactly do you think would actually go for such a property at a time like this?
Look, a lot of people. I mean, the Baldwins. Baldwin could look at this. I think Cosmopolitan could look at this. I think Calgary could look at this. I think the boys at IHS could look at this. There's a lot of guys. I mean, that's just a few, touching on a few of the guys.
All right, that's good. I guess we know the direction onto where and which lane we should use to get to this property. If you know someone looking for such a property, you're going to call this gentleman right here. He's going to lead you to auction, and you'll be there to bid on the 27th of October.
27th of October. Yeah, and if there's any questions, please feel free to contact me. My details will pop up now.
Yes.
Please don't
hesitate.
Be shy and don't hesitate. That's it. That's why they're here.
Jayson-lee Collins, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mango.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.